Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm Chris Bianchi. Today we've got two special guests to discuss COVID-19, specifically in the Hispanic community here in Colorado. And today we're going to chat with Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez Fisher, medical expert with Servicios de Raza, and Vanessa Bernal with Colorado's Department of Public Health and Environment. If you have a question in either English or in Spanish for our guests today, you can always email us at chris.bianchi@9news.com. We'll make sure that it is answered. But as always, we'll start off in Spanish. With that said, hola y buenas tardes a todos. Vamos a hablar sobre el COVID-19 en la comunidad hispana en Colorado en español con el doctor Ricardo González Fisher, con Servicios de la Raza, y Vanessa Bernal con el Departamento Estatal de Salud Pública. Además, si necesitas esta información en inglés, lo tendremos en más o menos 5 minutos, pero ahora empezaremos. Y doctor, quiero empezar con usted. ¿Y qué piensa usted sobre las vacunas contra la gripe para el otoño?
Hola Chris y hola Vanessa. Creo que es una situación muy importante. Recuerden la gente que cuando estuvimos todos encerrados porque estábamos tratando de prevenir la diseminación de el COVID-19, empezamos a tener menos casos de influenza estacional. Ahora con todo abierto y con los niños yendo a la escuela y los adultos trabajando y divirtiéndose fuera de casa, necesitamos pensar en protegernos, y la mejor protección es la vacuna.
Bueno, doctor, y también puede contarnos más sobre el nuevo refuerzo de COVID a partir del lunes.
Esta es otra cosa muy importante para todos aquellos que se estuvieron esperando para recibir un refuerzo de su vacunación, esperando que saliera algo que, además de cubrir contra la variante original del virus, nos protegiera de la variante omicron. Estamos en el momento ya a punto estamos esperando que este fin de semana se empiecen a distribuir a través de Estados Unidos ya grandes cantidades de la nueva vacuna, los boosters que vienen o los refuerzos que vienen preparados para atacar también al COVID-19 variante Omicron. Entonces, esto es muy importante.
Sí, es muy importante. Y Vanessa, con los niños que regresan a la escuela, ¿qué vacunas deben recibir los niños y cómo pueden recibirlas? Y con los padres, ¿cómo pueden recibir más información sobre todo esto?
Muchísimas gracias, Chris. Como siempre, un placer estar aquí contigo y con el doctor Ricardo. Bueno, como bien lo dices, los niños ya están regresando a las escuelas y el Departamento de Salud exhorta a los padres y tutores a hacer que los salones de clase se mantengan ahora sí que libres de estas enfermedades infecciosas, ¿no? Las vacunas que están ya disponibles para todos protegen a los niños de 16 enfermedades infecciosas que incluyen, no les voy a decir todas, pero incluyen rubiola, tosferina, paperas, polio, varicela y por supuesto la de la gripe influenza y la vacuna del COVID-19 que es para niños, bebés de 6 años en adelante. Así que lo que les recomendamos es que hablen con su doctor si tienen dudas acerca de estas vacunas, hablen con su doctor, hablen con su agencia de salud pública local para cualquier pregunta que tengan.
Y también hay más información en el sitio del Departamento Estatal de Salud Pública.
Así es, Chris, específicamente en las páginas covaxforkids.org, también en covid19.gov/wellchild y en childvaccine.co.org. Ahí tienen toda la información acerca de las vacunas.
Bueno, muchas gracias, Vanessa, y eso concluye la parte en español de nuestro programa. Ahora seguiremos en inglés. And as we switch things over to English, Doctor, I want to start with you and get us a bit more of your thoughts about the flu shot for the upcoming fall and how it could impact us.
Yes, thank you, Chris. And I would just like to remind our viewers that when we started the lockdowns for COVID, we started to notice that a certain decrease on the number of cases of the common flu, of the annual flu, because we were not being in contact with people. But now that kids are going back to school and adults are playing outside, are going to work, we're expecting a new increase, a new rise on the numbers of the common flu, of the flu, and it can confuse some people with the symptoms of COVID-19. So it's been proven for years that the best way to prevent this is through vaccination. So I would invite everybody to get a vaccine as soon as possible.
And speaking of the vaccine now, Doctor, can you tell us a bit more about the new COVID booster that's set to come out on Monday?
Yes, and this is another important thing to talk about. Just as there are a lot of people who were putting off COVID vaccine booster, hoping that they will get a new vaccine that will be specific for Omicron that is so contagious. Well, good news. We are hoping that it's been said more than hoping that by Labor Day weekend, we're going to start to roll out around the United States. So for those who were waiting, it's here. This vaccine is a bivalent vaccine. This means it will have it will attack the original COVID-19 virus also, but it will also have some, it will also protect us against the sub-variants of the Omicron. So I think it's a very good moment to go for it. And now that we're going to have Labor weekend, so even you can get your vaccine and have maybe a day to rest and go back to your activities.
Well, thank you so much for that information, Doctor. I know you have to get going, so thank you so much for your time here on 9 News Plus today, and we'll check back in with you next week. Vanessa, I want to go over to
Thank you.
and speak a bit more about kids going back to school. We were just speaking about that with Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez Fisher. Vanessa, could you recommend or give us an idea about what vaccines kids should have for this upcoming fall and how they can get them?
Sure, Chris. As always, thank you for the invitation. A pleasure to be here with you and with Dr. Ricardo. Well, in fact, as the students in Colorado go back to school, the Department of Health is asking parents and guardians to keep vaccine preventable diseases out of Colorado classrooms. And vaccines are available and protect children from 16 infectious diseases, including measles, whooping cough, mumps, polio, varicella or chickenpox, COVID-19, and flu. Of course, the recommendation here is to talk to your doctor or public health agency about any questions that you may have about these vaccinations.
And there's also more information online for parents, correct? If they're looking to get a bit more about where to go and a bit more information online as well, right?
Exactly, Chris. They can go to callbacksforkids.org. Then you will find a vaccine-free provider in that website. Also, you can go to covid19.colorado.gov-well-child, and also childvaccine.co.org for all their routine vaccines that your kids need according to their age. So all the information, you can find it there. I know that there are many questions, and it's very important for the kids to be up to date on their vaccinations now that they're going back to school.
Absolutely. But of course, you've answered quite a few of our questions along with Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez Fisher here today. So we really appreciate a few minutes of your time, Vanessa. And thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus for discussing a bit more about COVID-19 and also vaccines a bit more broadly here today.
Thank you, Chris. And until next time.
And until next time, that'll do it for this week's look at COVID-19 in the Hispanic community, specifically here in Colorado. Gracias a todos. Thanks to everybody for watching, and we'll see you again right back here next week. Thanks again.